Today is a very sad day, not only for the people of Siaya, but for the entire nation of Kenya. We are paying our last tribute to very young people whose life has been terminated by a very violent and uncaring regime. These young people did not deserve to die at this time. They will remain heroes of our country, the heroes of our third liberation. So these young people have died a very brutal and painful death. They are basically victims of gunshots committed by police officers who were supposed to protect them, their lives and property. We came as a country from colonialism. Under colonialism, we had what was called the police force, a force that was meant to be used by the colonialists to rule the natives. But after independence, we should have transformed our police to a service whose responsibility is to protect life and property of the people. Unfortunately, this is not happening. We fought very hard to get a new constitution. The struggle for a constitution took over 50 years. Lives were lost during that struggle. Unfortunately, what we have witnessed over the last 1 year since this regime took power shows us that very little has been achieved. We have a new constitution on paper, one of the most democratic constitutions in the world. But unfortunately, the practice is very different. And the country can easily slide back to where we came from. You have a constitution that protects the right of the people, but those who have usurped power in our country do not respect that constitution. And that is why an order can be given of shoot to kill by police officers. First, the constitution gives Kenyans a right to petition, right to picket, right to demonstrate. And you do not need permission from a police officer. You only need to notify the police that you're going to do a demonstration. And give also reasons why you're demonstrating. Kenyans were demonstrating against high cost of living, high cost of prices of food, high cost of transport, and so on. Kenyans also demonstrating and demanding electoral justice. Kenyans were demonstrating, demanding a democratic electoral environment. Kenyans were demonstrating in protection of multi-party democracy. So these were very, very genuine reasons for people to call for demonstrations. And then police were notified that demonstrations were going to take place. Police ought to have gone there to protect the people. But you see what the police have done. Mr. Kome is but an instrument, because I've heard Mr. Ruto bragging all over. Nitawakalia ngumu. Nitawakalia ngumu hawa watu. Tutawanyorosha. Tutawanyorosha. Those are the words of Mr. Ruto. Polisi wamefanya kazi mzuri kwa kulinda Wakenya. Ati hatuwezi kukubali wengine wafanye maandamano ya kuharibu mali ya Wakenya. Sasa Mr. Ruto, which Mali was being destroyed in Bondo? Which Mali was being destroyed in Bondo? Which Mali was being destroyed in Sondo? Which Mali was being destroyed in Migori? In Yalenda? Which Mali was being destroyed? You are saying that we are using police to protect the properties of the people of Kenya. This was basically planned wanton killing of our people. And the basis of this has been laid by your deputy called Mr. Gachetha. Gachetha said, and you have not contradicted him, that Kenya is a company, that there are those with more shares, those with fewer shares, and those with no shares. And this share ownership is determined on the basis of how people voted for Kenya Kwisha. That there are communities which did not vote for Kenya Kwanza, and that's why they are not shares. They have no shares in your government. And that's the reason why you profiled those communities. It is not just against the Luos. It's against all the communities that voted predominantly for Azimio. And we've shown it in terms of employment, the way people are being employed discriminatively, and you've also shown it the way you have profiled the people. I wanted to say here, for the consumption of the international community, I have lived for a long time, over 8 years in Germany. And I know how fascism started in Germany, by profiling. Mr. Hitler started by just targeting one community, the Jews. That the Jews, the only good Jew is a dead one. But even the dead Jew, if his bone scratch you, you will still die. So he came up with what they call the final solution, the Endschluss. And it started to attack and kill the Jews. The pogrom started this way. And this is what is happening here. You're profiling a community. You want to use the very same tactics that were used by Mr. Hitler in Germany and in Europe. This is what is happening here in Kenya, and they want the international community to take note of what is happening here. You are trying to begin a fascist regime in this country. And you're congratulating the police for killing innocent children. 13 years, 14, 15 years, 20 years, and so on. This is something that is completely unacceptable. And they want the international community to stand with Kenya. We are saddened to see that the diplomatic community residents in Kenya are silent when fundamental rights of Kenyan people are being violated by this regime. We would like the international community to come up strong on this issue. The prosecutor of ICC was here, treated by Mr. Ruto in State House, given a chopper to go and receive an honorary degree and for fighting for human rights. And there he was being received by again another agent of Mr. Ruto. We have said that this is not right. ICC should remain true to its mandate by protecting and defending the rights of the innocent people all over the world. We are saying as a people of Kenya, ultimately it will be our responsibility to liberate our country. And Kenya must and can be liberated. We must tell them also that we will not be cowed by this act. And we don't even have to bring people on the streets. We can tell people to stay home. That's another way of expressing displeasure and dissatisfaction. Next time we will not tell the people to come to the streets. We tell the people to stay in their homes. Stay in their homes and see what they're going to do. We will tell you, don't come out. Stop anybody who is trying to come out. Just stay at home. Stay at home. Iko njia mingi ya kuua paka.
Tunaona ni vibaya mtu akituchekelea wakati tuko na majonzi. Na ndio tunaambia kome na Ruto, William Ruto na hao wote wamekalia viti kibadia nao ya kwamba wametudhuru sisi wa Kenya. Na mimi nimeangalia, nimeona ya kwamba Ruto anatafuta kutambulika na kuua watu. Ate ndivyo akikohoa tuwe tunanyamaza zote. Mimi nataka kumwambia hatuwezi kumtambua kwa sababu ya kuua binadamu. Tutamtambua wakati sava itafunguliwa tuone kura zilizokuwa. Sababu sisi wanaazimio tunajua aliyechaguliwa rais ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Huyo ndio His Excellency the People's President. And Her Excellency the People's First Lady is my friend Mama Aida Odinga. Waelewe hiyo. Kama unataka tukutambue, mwaga hizo kura hapo, tuhesabu tena, fungua sava. Kama ni zako tutakutambua, lakini tunaelewa sio zako. Na ndio unababaika. Hata ukiua watu, wengine wetu hatutakutambua milele. Sisi tunaomba, kama mtu amechukua Biblia, hata kama wewe rais bandia, umechukua Biblia kusema utalinda katiba ya Kenya. Na umuhimu wa serikali ni kulinda maisha. Haiwezekani pesa yetu iwe inatumika kuua watoto wetu. Na ndio tukapiga ripoti tukasema, wewe William Ruto tunakujua. Tunajua umewahi kushtakiwa kule Hague. Na kesi haikuendelea sababu washahidi wote waliangamia na wengine wakatoroka. Lakini makosa lawama haukuondolewa. Na tukakuonya tukianza maandamano, usije ukaua wa Kenya. Lakini umeendelea na umeua wa Kenya. Mimi nataka kuelezea, hata ukiweka sahihi mkataba wa kukuficha usiende ICC, hiyo mkataba chini ya katiba ya Kenya ni bandia. Ukisoma katiba ya Kenya inasema haki za kibinadamu zipewe kipaumbele. Na kitu yote, jambo lolote ambao hainui haki za watu, hiyo itakuwa ni bandia. Hiyo mkataba tutaichallenge, and you will answer for killing innocent Kenyans. Wakati watu wanaandamana, kama iko shida, polisi wanaruhusiwa watumie tear gas ya kutawanya watu. Huwezi ukatumia live bullets. Tear gas ikitupwa, hakuna mtu ambaye hatoroki. Na wananchi hawana fujo, maandamano inakuwa ni peaceful. Ile wakati polisi wanaleta fujo, ndio ghasia hupatikana. Hiyo si kweli. Kwa hivyo tunasema, these killings will be avenged. The blood of these innocent Kenyans will be avenged. You can sign as many treaties as you like. They are all null and void under the laws of Kenya, and you and your officers will pay for this. Na tusifiche tuseme kome na wengine. The buck stops with Ruto. For the illegitimate regime, the buck stops with who? Ruto. Na yeye, he has owned up. The day he congratulated the police, alikuwa anaidhinisha amri yake imetendeka. Kwa hivyo ni yeye aliwatuma watumie live bullets. Na unaona akiwatuma siku za maandamano, kila mahali lazima aweke ofisa mmoja au wawili wa kutoka kwao. Sasa mimi nauliza, unataka watu wako wabebe mzigo ya kuwa ndio wametekeleza mauaji Kenya? Mimi nataka kuongea na mapolisi wote. Wewe uwe umetoka jamii gani? Kumbuka wewe ni Mkenya na utaishi Kenya, na watu wako pia wataishi Kenya. Tumikia sheria ya Kenya na uheshimu wa Kenya wenzako. Usipowaheshimu, hata wewe utapata yako, sababu malipo ni hapa duniani. wewe mfanyikazi wa serikali, usijione kama dunia ni yako. Ujue unatumikia Wakenya, hatutaki kujua chama yako. Tenda wema, nenda zako. Na ujue Wakenya ndio wanalipa mshahara wako. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema, wewe uwa Wakenya, lakini kama una uwezo, panga kuua Wakenya milioni 50. Hatutapiga makoti. Maisha na uhai tumepatiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu, sio wewe. Hata ukiua hatutanyamaza, au mtanyamaza? Hata ukiua hatutakoma kutumia haki zetu. We shall continue exercising our rights.
I refer us to Article 243 of Constitution 2010. This article establishes the National Police Service, not the police force, police service. Article 245 establishes the office of the Inspector General of Police. I refer us to those articles. Now, the only way Kome can get away with criminal liability, is to resign. And even if he resigns, it is not enough. He can only get away if he establishes under Article 245 that he was given instructions by Kindiki to do what he did, trying to kill Baba. I was with Raila when they hit him mara 10. Tulipo escape na Kioni alikuwa nyuma yetu, tukafika mahali tulikuwa tumejificha kwa hoteli moja harafa Utuju. Baba akaniambia, come and I show you something. Alienda akanionyesha, angalia hii. Bullet moja, bullet 2, hii ilikuwa inanilenga, bullet ya 3. Mungu ni mwema. Gari yenyewe ilikuwa kabisa ya kiongozi. Hawangeweza. Kama sio hiyo gari, tungekuwa tukiongea mambo mengine Kenya hii. Macho yangu mwenyewe nikaona, nikadhibitisha kwamba hii ni risasi. From what brother Jim Orengo refers to as assault rifles. Assault rifles. Ya kwenda ile ambayo ingepigana na Al-Shabaab na watu kama hao. Ilikuwa inaelekezwa Raila Amolo Odinga. That was after the battle, ndugu, the battle of Pipeline. We have been in demonstrations before with some of our colleagues who have since wamesalimu amri. Remember siku za code, tukisema kina Hassan waende na walienda. Tulifanya demonstration, tukapigwa tear gas. Lakini hii ilikuwa vita. Hii haikuwa mambo ya tear gas, hii ilikuwa ni kumaliza Raila once and for all. Wengine walisema hivyo. Walisikika wakisema they want the final solution. Ya to do away with Raila Amolo Odinga. Lakini Mungu ni mwema. Raila ako hapa. The battle of Pipeline. Hatujasikia wale watu walikamatwa, wameonyeshwa kwa runinga za dunia. Somebody with assault rifles akimpiga gari yake na hata ya media car, hajashikwa. Na huyu Kome alisikika baada ya kwenda kuiba kondoo za Mama Ngina Northlands. Wakisema they are going to watashika waliokuwa wanahusika. Remember the story of invasion of Northlands. Nobody has been apprehended. So what do we trust? Tunaamini yapi? Maneno gani? Maneno yapi anaweza kuyazungumza hao wa Kenya wazalendo wakaamini wa hiyo Inspector General? So hivyo akionyesha kwamba he received written instructions under Article 245 Senior Counsel Jim Orengo. The only way he can get away with it, if he says he received written instructions to go and try to assassinate Raila Odinga, Mimi niliponia chupu Mathare na yale magari ambayo again ndugu Jim Orengo alikuwa akizungumzia. Hii haikuwa malori ya kawaida. Yanabeba ile Maria, hiyo yanabeba sumu, chemicals za kuadhuru watu wa Kenya. Therefore, we shall not deal with this matter. I don't believe this matter of police brutality is even for our team in the dialogue team. This is a bigger issue. This is a very serious matter. And it should be addressed separately. Kwa hivyo, mtu anaweza kutolewa kama Inspector General of Police, kama mwenda wazimu, kama ni bankrupt, kama ana fail under chapter 6 on integrity. And therefore, that's why I believe who Inspector General, if indeed he is an Inspector General, whether he has actually read the Constitution. And let him not bring the good people of Meru. Mimi natoka sehemu ile ingine ya Meru. Meru kwangu ni nyumbani. Wa Meru hatuwezi na wadharaka pale ndugu zangu, majirani zangu. Tuaibishwe na mtu mmoja anajiita Kome na kusema anadhulumiwa kwa sababu ni Mmeru. Haiwezekani. So we have to deal with him. Therefore, my advice today out of Bondo, if indeed there's rule of law in this country. By the way, Ruto anaweza pia akamfuta kazi. Ingawaji alikuwa approved na bunge hili. Hili bunge hamukukumbuka. When I remember I was in Germany, wakati Raila alirudi after the 2017 elections, na yule alikuwa in charge ya kupiga watu tear gas, that time Koome mwenyewe alikuwa anatupa mawe. Kwa hii statement, anasema, what do you expect of us? Amuja isoma hii maneno, amesema maneno makubwa. Sasa anasema, what do you expect of us? Kama mtu anakuja na mawe, na sisi tuko na buduki, what do you expect of us? Now he forgets this is not anymore Kenya Police Force. This is Kenya Police Service. Utumishi. Therefore, mimi naona swala hili limegadhabisha watu wengi sana. Wakenya wote. The most honorable thing, and even when in addressing our international friends, if you think this Kenya, this country, can be a nation under the rule of law, which it should be, but unfortunately, right now, it's a nation under police brutality, then you have to advise accordingly. Koome does not qualify, as we speak, to be the Inspector General of Kenya Police. Mimi maliza yangu na Koome. Wangapi anakubaliana na mimi?
Ruto, if you're a Christian who is truthful, you will hear my words today. This man called Koome said that Azimio hired corpses and alleged that they were killed by the police. Now I want to show Ruto that Koome was lying. There is our very own David Otieno. Koome said that we hired dead bodies from the mortuaries. Police protocol, police also have their protocol. When you die an unnatural death, whether in a hospital or outside the hospital, they cannot receive that body and conduct a post-mortem without the participation of the police. So when David was killed here in Bondo, the person who led the operations, the chief was a small man, but I'm coming about the chief. We shall say everything. The person who took the body for post-mortem was one called, let me look at the name properly in case I'm accused. It was somebody called a sergeant. No, it's not a sergeant. It was not even a corporal. Somebody called Bondo. Now they are saying we hired the police record. This is an application form signed by the police for the conduct of a post-mortem on David. This post-mortem is signed by a police officer. The body was recovered by a police officer. For post-mortem, the people asked for a post-mortem to be conducted was a police officer. The person who escorted the body to the mortuary and also for the post-mortem was a police officer. Now, there is another of our friends called Michael Oduor. Michael died in Kisumu. There's a post-mortem form here, signed by the police, asking the doctors in Jaramogi, Odinga to conduct a post-mortem. It is signed by a police officer. The person who escorted the body is called Tunui Gilbert. Tonoi. I don't know whether there's somebody in Azimio leadership known as Tonoi. I've not heard so far. Or Paranya, do you have a name like Tonoi? And I've got all the post-mortem reports here. They show, in fact, the post-mortem say they died of gunshot wounds, all of them. Now, how Ruto can go and congratulate the police for killing people? I wonder whether there's a Christian or a pretender. And that is a question that they must answer.